The Nasipit Lumber Company, NALC, was established in 1946 in Agusan del Norte, Philippines, as a logging and lumber processing firm with a large forest concession in the area. It grew into a major employer and economic driver for the town of Nasipit and the surrounding region, producing wood products like veneer and plywood. After experiencing financial difficulties for several years, the company was reportedly slated to close down around February 2002. Key details about NALCO's history. Establishment, founded in 1946. Operations, engaged in logging and lumber processing. Forest concession, held a significant forest concession in the Agusan del Norte region, covering 98,000 hectares in the area, including the town of Nasipit. Economic impact, became the leading employer in Nasipit and spurred investment in other local businesses due to the growing economy it created. Products, produced a variety of home building components, including veneer and plywood. Financial decline, faced significant financial problems with total liabilities of P991.627 million and total assets of P758 million by 1999, leading to a net loss of 58 million in that year. Closure/decline. A news report in February 2002 indicated that the company was facing closure due to ongoing financial difficulties. History. Perched on a promontory overlooking the picturesque Nasipit Bay is the progressive industrial town of Nasipit. From the open sea, approaching the town, one would readily notice that pall of heavy smoke emanating from giant smokestacks, evidence of industrial activity within the sprawling compound of the Nasipit Lumber Company and the Philippine Wallboard Corporation. The shoreline of Nasipit assumes a claw-like, from which Nasipit was derived. Until 1929, Nasipit was a barrio of Butuan. The then-Governor Gingona proposed to change the name Nasipit to Aurora. Due to the strong opposition of the early inhabitants, however, the word Nasipit was retained. Little is known about historical events that took place in this town during its early days, but legend has it that 3 women were abducted by marauding Moro pirates who occasionally came to this place to rob and plunder. It was said that the villagers were terrified whenever the pirates came ashore, and they went into hiding for days atop the thickly forested hill, which they later on settled and developed as the present-day Poblacion. Because of this danger, the early settlers constructed a watchtower at the site presently occupied by the Catholic Church, to watch out for and warn the people of an impending pirate raid. The earliest settlers of this town were immigrants from Cebu, Leyte, and the different parts of the archipelago threaded their way into this town to settle permanently. The administration of the late Mayor Catalino Atupan saw the beginnings of industrial activities in this once sleepy town. During his 9 years in office, Mayor Atupan strove to increase tax collection and encourage the establishment of factories on account of the town's strategic geographical location and ideal shipping facilities. At the end of his term in 1946, the Nasipit Lumber Company Incorporated, controlled and operated by the Fernandez Hermanos, started its operation. Thus began Nasipit's march to progress. Nasipit was officially separated from the municipality of Butuan on August 1, 1929. It became a municipality by virtue of Executive Order No. 181 issued by Acting Governor-General of the Philippines Eugene Allen Gilmore. A proposal to change its name to Aurora was initiated by then-Governor Teofisto Guingona Sr., but due to the strong opposition from townsfolk, the name Nasipit was retained. In 1949, the barrios of Carmen, Tagkatong, Cahayagan, and San Agustin were separated from Nasipit and constituted into the new town of Carmen by virtue of Republic Act No. 380, which was approved on June 15, 1949. Geography. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, the municipality has a land area of 144.4 square kilometers, 55.8 square miles, 8, constituting 5.29% of the 2,730.24 square kilometers, 1,054.15 square miles of total area of Agusan del Norte. Nasipit occupies the northwestern portion of the province. It is bounded in the east and south by Buena Vista, west by Carmen, and north by Butuan Bay. It is 24 kilometers 15 miles west of Butuan and 175 kilometers 109 miles northeast of Cagayan de Oro. The town is accessible by sea through the inter-island vessels docking in the Nasipit International Seaport to destinations such as Manila, Cebu, Bohol, and Cagayan de Oro. Nasipit Lumber to close down Nasipit Lumber Co. Inc., one of the oldest logging and lumber processing firms in the country, will be delisting its shares at the Philippine Stock Exchange as it prepares to close shop following 6 years of serious financial difficulties. The company informed the PSE that during its special stockholders meeting held last week, the shareholders voted to apply for insolvency and liquidation with the courts and to seek the appointment of a liquidator who shall liquidate all the assets of the corporation and pay off all its obligations. It said the decision was in view of the company's serious financial predicament, which has led to its non-operation for the past 6 years, and the difficulty of a recovery, considering the current economic climate, and in order to meet and settle all its obligations. Nasipit said, with the projected liquidation, it has decided to revoke its earlier decision to file for receivership and rehabilitation with the regional trial court in Manila. In August last year, the lumber firm and its subsidiary, Philippine Wallboard Corp., filed a petition for rehabilitation, including the suspension of all actions and proceedings against the two companies. It said the decision was in view of the company's serious financial predicament, which has led to its non-operation for the past 6 years, and the difficulty of a recovery, considering the current economic climate, and in order to meet and settle all its obligations. Nasipit said, with the projected liquidation, it has decided to revoke its earlier decision to file for receivership and rehabilitation with the regional trial court in Manila. In August last year, the lumber firm and its subsidiary, Philippine Wallboard Corp., filed a petition for rehabilitation, including the suspension of all actions and proceedings against the two companies.